Good morning, guys. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist there is. So what better place to be than here with me? Let me turn you guys up. Hope you're having an amazing Wednesday. How did you guys do on yesterday? Did you have a good Tuesday? What did you think about topics that we had on yesterday? Sometimes, a lot of times I give you guys questions and things to think about. And hopefully you guys are actually thinking about these things and writing them down, or at least it's giving you something to pause and think about, meaning it's giving a little weight to your day, something that you may not been thinking about previously before. Because that's the intent of the Fearless Morning Show, is that we give you something to think about, not only how to live past crazy in your life and your finances, but just how to live past crazy, period. All this last week and this week. Hey, my sunshine, how are you? I have been talking about when hurt hurts so bad that you can't move on. You know, what are the steps to get past that? I talked about that you have, good morning, Charlene. You have an open invitation to do Monday. It was, you have an open invitation to do whatever it is that you want to do. No more holding back. And yesterday we just talked about, understanding your true purpose and leaving that life legacy. So, today I had two questions for you guys yesterday. What is your true purpose and why do you want to leave a life legacy? So today I'm asking you a few more questions, but I'm going to share a confession with you and pray for my co-host, Miss Lynn Dimmons, who will not be joining us today, but she will be back with us tomorrow morning, bright and early. Safe travels to her. So we know that with fear. And so I talk about, all the time, fear and doing something different and doing something new. If any of you guys have ever picked up and moved without an expectation or a plan, then you definitely know what that is like. Let me tell you something. You gonna feel, I got you, Erica. Don't even worry, honey. I got you, boo. So sometimes we make moves and fear will cause us to do one or two things. Make a move because we're afraid of what could happen. So we make a safe move, or we make a move of faith. And I think with fear, it's those one or two things. Either you can work with what you have and realize it, or you can allow it to hold you back. So those are two things. So today I have a few more questions for you that you should ask yourself on this fearless journey, because on this journey, you're meeting yourself. You're truly learning who you are, who you want to be, and why you want to be this person. Why do you want to be this person? What is essential nature for you as a human being? What do you really care about? Like, what is it that you really care about? If you could take away all of your problems, what is it that you really care about? And what does peace mean to you? I talk about all the time that peace is priceless and that I'd rather have peace than be right. And it took me a long time to get there. Last week, if you guys didn't catch the show last week, let me just go ahead and drop the YouTube channel for you. We talked about healing is the key and not getting self-validation when somebody has hurt you. And what do you do when all you want to do is self-validate or get back at them, or for them to say they've hurt you over and over again, just to make you feel better? But are you really going to feel better when they do that? Are you really? And you think, girl, yes, I will feel better. I promise you, you will not. That's last week's video. So make sure that you read that. We talked about when hurt is hurting and healing is the key, because we've got to get all the foundations work done before we start to live past crazy, because it has got to happen. So two things. When we operate in fear, again, I said sometimes it holds us back from things, from our blessings, from things. So I have two stories for you. If anybody knows me, you know I'm a story girl. So as a survivor, I face fear a lot of times, for my life, for my kids, not having a place to live, where's my next meal coming from? Where can I even get a toothbrush from? And so that fear it pushed me to do, y'all know my quote, don't let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. It pushed me to focus on some things, and it motivated me to handle some bare basic business. And fear can cause you to do those things, or it can cause you to retreat back into your darkness, because I was depressed, and stay there where you are. So one of my fear steps was I lost my job, and my family, I live in North Carolina, and my family was like, okay, come back home and, just stay here. And I was like, no, I can't do that. And fear was packing up my kids, cashing in a 401k, and moving anyway, without a job, without knowing anybody, with 2 kids, not knowing a thing in the world. And I chose fear and faith together, because sometimes that's what you got to do to get a blessing that you think is out there. You're not really certain. The Lord has been promising to you, but you're not quite sure if it's coming or where it is or why you should go. So that's one of my fear steps on this fearless journey that I took, that absolutely petrified me. And I didn't understand myself. I was like, why are you doing this crazy thing? But I could not do it. Does that make sense? I couldn't stay where I am. So if you're at that point where you're going through some crazy stuff in your life, and don't cry, my baby, and you're trying to decide, Lord, why, if this is where you want me to be, and this is what you want me to do, why are you fighting me so hard, Jesus? Why is it so hard for me to do what you're asking me to do? Why is it so hard for me to do this thing when I know that this is what you want me to do? And sometimes, my friend, it is just building your strength up so that you can handle more. Because when I moved to a place where I didn't know anybody, I had 2 kids, and all I had was the money left over from my 401k. I had to decide real fast what was important and what was not. I had to decide real fast, get a job, take care of the kids. Some things had to happen in order. But that fear pushed me to do some things that I would not have done. And I realized that when I did that, it changed my mindset to think that I can do far more than I ever imagined. When I first left my abuser, y'all know the story. I lived in a shelter. I had nothing. I had a preemie and a 7-year-old, and the clothes on our back, and 1 bottle to my name. And that was it. And my friends, that will push you to make some hard life decisions about what is important and what is not. And that was a fear move as well. Thank God there were people in place, and that journey was extremely hard. But what I can tell you is during that journey, I picked up, remember I always say we building new rules to us. We're building new foundations. We're doing all of that. And I picked up some character, and I picked up some more value, and I picked up things that along the way that helped me set me. So when I had to come to another fearless journey experience of, okay, I got a 12-year-old and a 5-year-old. What are you going to do with you've been laid off for your job? My fearless journey was to cash it in and move anyway. And so sometimes, my friends, what you're going through now is just setting you up for what is to come. I'm not even going to lie and say it's going to be easy or it's going to be all kicks and giggles. Sometimes it was hard, and some days I questioned my own sanity, and I'm sure my children did too, about why did our mother do this to us? Yes, he will see you through. And I think what you have to realize is if you don't have a relationship with him, you will have one by the time you finish with that process. Like for real, you will have one. And that's why I always ask you guys thought-provoking questions, like so that you can think about some of those things, and then they're going to motivate you or increase your mindset to do something different than what you're doing. What is your life legacy? What is it that you want to leave to your children? If you have girls, if you have sons are looking at us to see how we're supposed to treat women. And our girls are looking at us for their self-worth and their validation. And sister, let me tell you, we've got to bring it every single day. And once I realized that, after I decided I didn't want to kill myself, and that my girls truly needed me, and that I'd be damned if somebody else was going to tell them something different about me than what was true, that, my friend, will help set you on another fearless journey. Because sometimes you need You have to have that reminder, right? And please understand, Charlene, I thought the same thing. I said, if I leave my abuser, I got a little girl that's only 3 months old who only weighed 4 pounds, and preemie clothes didn't even fit her. And I got a 7-year-old who is not even allowed out of her room, and she's scared to death. But we have a roof over our head, we have food, blah, blah, blah. I don't want my kids to struggle. Me and my children have very real conversations, period. And they are happier now. Even when we were struggling, they were happier now than they were when we were in a situation that was crazy, because your kids feel your stress. They feel they feel all of that because they have a pure soul. So they can feel and they know things even when it's not spoken, they know it's there. Right, Charlene? And your kids know, and they rather struggle with mama or daddy, if the case be, struggle and know that there's love and that there's peace. Because even though me and the girls were struggling, some days the water was off, some days the lights was off, some days both of them was off. There was an eviction notice on the door. But you know what? I taught them the power of prayer, period. And let me tell you how real it was. On some days we pull up to the and especially when light bill was due, and I had no money, I was making $12.26 trying to raise 2 children. I would leave the light on, the porch light on, when I left home. And as I was coming, I was like, girls, let's pray as we go home. And I would pray, Lord, in your name, we know the lights are going to be on. The water's going to be on, because we are faithful over this. And they learned to pray and to see, walk it through, so that they learn the power of prayer and what it can do for you. And a lot of times I was like, Mommy, God did that for us. Yes, he did. Thank you very much. And they learned that, and it's teaching them strength as well. And here's the thing. You don't want your children to struggle. You don't want them to see or think that is how it's supposed to be. And I made that very clear. If you just hold on with mommy. And then by that time I decided I'm going to go back to school and get a master's degree. And I told Courtney, because Rosie was an infant, if you just hold on with mommy, I promise everything is going to be better, and it's going to get better every time. We're going to take this step, and then we're going to take the next step, and then we're going to take the next step. And I promise you it's going to get better. On this fearless journey, sometimes you got to make fearful decisions. I made a fearful decision to leave my abuse. I made another fearful decision to cash in my 401k, pack up 2 kids, and move somewhere where I didn't know anybody. And so sometimes you've got to make those fearful decisions in your life. And here's the thing, you know what to do. You know the answer. You know what you should be doing. And you know that. But fear is holding you back. So you have 2 things with fear. Either you can feel it, accept it, and make a decision about it, or you can allow that fear to hold you back. And that's it. When I was in an abusive situation, I allowed it to hold me back because I thought if I left, he'll kill me. But if I stay, he'll kill me. So I'd rather take my chances and run and have a hope of being alive than to stay here with the definite answer that he's going to kill me. Sometimes you have got to make a fearful decision. And when you do that, I promise that the universe, God, and all his lovely angels make provisions for you so that when you step out and you're ready, then things are going to start to happen there. And Trenda, is Trenda on here? Trenda, my Bible scholar, I think it was Joshua. She'll find the Bible verse for us because she knows. It says, I don't know if it was Joshua or not, but anyway, he was talking, and God said, everywhere you place your feet, I've already given it to you, but you got to go there. Wherever you go, wherever you place your feet, it's yours already. You just got to go. Period. And if you keep reading, it says, go and possess the land. It's already yours, but you got to go and take it. If you standing there and looking at it, it ain't going to be yours. You got to go and take it. So there's action required all along the way of this fearless journey. Your faith journey, your fearless journey, it all requires action, my friend. Whether you want, and here's the thing, if you don't take any action, then we will stay right where we are. Period. And that's my confession for today. I had to make some fearless, faithful decisions in my life to get to my next. You hear Lynn say that all the time, get to your next. I had to make those fearful decisions to get to my next. And sometimes it was, I may not have always understood, but as you walking it out, again, John Wooten, don't let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. When you start focusing on the things that you can achieve, then you can do some things. Just today, I talked about that. If you let go of all the inner struggles that you have for just one day, imagine what you could achieve for just one day. All those great thoughts that you have, even if that's just writing them down for today. What could you achieve today just by writing them down? Because there are millionaires on here. Miss Erica she started doing her little baskets. I think it was at Halloween, Easter. She started doing those little Easter baskets. Now she's doing Mother's Day, and homegirl got a very nice business going on. You've got to take the first step. Thank you, Nathan. I knew my Bible scholar trend would come through. Thank you so very much. I love the Old Testament, y'all. Y'all will always hear stories from the Old Testament. It's my favorite. That's your foundation. Find out. Because let me tell you something. When I was going through, and this is for and if men are on here, this section is just for the ladies. When I was going through my second marriage, and I was going through, and I did not understand, Lord, why me? What is going on? I came upon the Bible verse, and I think it's Jeremiah. Trenda, get it for me. And it says, it's either 54 or 55. I'm going to look it up. And it's what it says, and I know it by heart. But I paraphrase it because, I think Jesus talks to me different than he does normal people. And so what it says is, your foundations. I was like, Lord, why am I going through all of this? What is going on with me? This is my second marriage and things are not happening. It seems like I'm getting the same man. Blah. I was having a big pity party, and I had been praying and praying and praying. Lord, send me an answer. And finally, one day I opened up the Bible and opened it up to that verse. And what it said was, your foundations are made, and it's two Bible verses, and Trina's going to help me. That made me sure. Okay, yeah. It's Isaiah 54, and it says, break forth into singing and cry out loud. He said, your foundations are made of rubies. Take the sides off your tent so that I can give you more. And to me, that was like, you keeping everything closed in, so I can't put anything in there. And he says, take the ties off the sides of your tent so that I can give you more. And then he said, and Jojo, he said, I'm your husband. The Lord thy God is your husband. I love you, period. Don't worry about it. You were a wife of your youth, meaning you got young when you were married, and I hid myself from you for a little while, but now I'm back, and I'm never going to leave you again. You should have no more shame. You should never be forsaken. I am here, and mercies, great mercies, will follow me forever. And here's my last part. And where was it at? And he goes on to tell me, here it is. Your foundations are made with fair colors, and my foundations have sapphires and rubies. And then it tells about all of these great things that he has just for me. And a lot of people, when you hear, and it's Isaiah 54. And a lot of people go straight to the last verse. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. But there's so much more in verses 1 through 16 that people miss. He just told me my foundations were made with rubies. My windows have diamonds in them. He told me to take the sides off my tent so that he could give me more. He told me I was his wife. He told me that, he hid himself from me because I made a bad decision. But now, his love and ever kindness and grace and mercy is always going to be with me. No mountain can separate me. I was like, Jesus, well, why didn't you tell me that in the beginning? Like, why couldn't I have that up front? Because I was having the biggest pity party. And when I tell you guys, if y'all see my Bible, I've taken it back in my room. That chapter, I love the Old Testament. Jeremiah is one of my favorites. That chapter 54 was so written up and marked up to the point where I memorized it and I know it. So on those days where I'm having a bad day, I can call those things to remembrance. Amen, Charlene. Yes, you got to get the whole message. You can't just get part of it. So on this fearless journey, you are making fearful decisions. You're making fearful and faithful steps. Because it's not easy. It wasn't easy to leave my family. It wasn't easy to go somewhere and not know anything. It wasn't easy. And please understand the journey. When I moved to the new place with the 401k, yeah, I had a little money in my pocket and I got the kids situated. Yeah, that's why I said Isaiah 54. And I got the kids situated. I had to get a job. Well, then my car broke down. Well, then I lost the car. So now I'm in a city with no car, no family, no anything, and trying to find my way around and still keep strong for some kids and still feed them and still go to work and function at work. Sometimes, guys, you got to make a fearful faith step. And so when I give you these thoughts and questions to ask yourself, I'm trying to help get your mindset ready, or for you to think about things so that you can have in place so that when you're ready to step out and you're doing this fearful, faithful walk, that you have some good foundations or your mindset is all the way together. So what is your true purpose? What do you wish to leave behind for your life legacy? Because we are building life legacies. What does integrity mean to you? Why is it important? And what is your essential nature as a human being? What do you want people to remember you as? Lynn talked about that yesterday. And what does peace mean to you? What does peace mean to you? Because all of that is important, because you may think peace means one thing and then you get it and realize that's not it at all. Period. Sometimes your next, your breakthrough, your realization, your mind open moment is right past fear. So here's one more story. I told that one story from my fearful, faithful walk. Here's another one. I have a tremendous fear of heights. Oh my Lord, I hate heights. Because I'm short. And so the first time last year was the first time I ever got on a plane, and nobody ever knew that. And so I got on the plane and I took all the medicine, and I think it's an overall feeling, and I'm a control freak, that I'm not in control and that I'm having to trust somebody else to take me up into the sky and take me to where I need to be, was a little overwhelming for me. So midway through the flight, I got sick. After I got sick and I landed, I was okay. On the way back on the flight, I was sitting there and we're getting ready to take off, and my seat was the last seat, and the only person behind me was the stewardess, and I had a window seat. I was like, Lord, why do I have a window seat when I'm petrified? I know, Trenda. I'm petrified I'm scared of heights and flying. And I was sitting there, and my prayer every morning for 3 years at this point had been, Lord, bless my business, bless my book, bless your message, Lord, because without you, there is no message, Lord. Take it worldwide so people can hear you, Lord, and know who you are and whose I am and why I am. And that was my prayer. And I'm sitting at there, and before we take off, and I'm looking out the window, and God said, you want me to do all of this for you? Take it worldwide, people to read your book around the world. You want to do all this, but you can't even get on an airplane to go 2 states away. When I tell you Jesus hurt all of my feelings right there, I started crying. I was like, what? He was like, you want me to do all this for you, but what are you willing to do to help get yourself there? You want all this to happen, but you're not even willing to get on a plane so that I can take you there. I can't do it if you don't do your half. You gotta meet him halfway. I was like, oh my God. And when I tell you, instantly the anxiety was lifted, the fear was gone. And let me tell you, I got on with that plane. I had the window up and I put my headphones on and I slept like a baby. That was the best sleep ever in my entire life. And I had so many revelations about it. How many times have we prayed to God for something? I really did not make this a Bible study or anything like that. But how many times have we prayed to God to do something for us, but we haven't taken the next step that we need to take in order to make it happen? And for me, that was it. I'm asking Jesus, bless my business, Lord, take me worldwide. Lord, there is no me without you. I want to tell your story. But he's like, how you want to tell my story when you won't even get on a plane to go and do one thing I asked you to do? You scared to do that, so I can't do anything till you do your part. And when I tell you, once that happened, blessings started coming right after that. So sometimes, my friend, on this Wednesday, this hump day Wednesday, You're going to make it through. I promise you. On this fearful, faithful walk, you've got to make that next step. Sometimes it may be a shaky kind of step. It may be funny. It may be unsure. You may look back and think, am I doing the right thing? Please understand you are. It says wherever you place your feet, it's already given to you. But you got to go there first. It says go and possess the land. Go and take it. It all requires action. If you read anything in the Bible, he tells you something and then he gives you an action to go do behind it. So on this fearful, faithful walk, we got to take action. And that's what it's all about. So today, what is on the other side of your fear? On this fearful, faithful walk, what is on the other side of your fear? If you could let it go for an hour and just write it out, or if you let go of it for 30 minutes and just believe it and feel it on the inside, I promise your next action step will come to your mind of what you need to do or what you need to accomplish and how you need to do it. Because this fearful, faithful walk is not for the faint at heart. And on this Be Fearless journey, you have Lynn and I here to help you along the way because she is America's #1 rebound coach. Yes, she said it, America's #1. That's right, Charlene, my success. And here's another thing, guys. I think we as women sometimes we hate to say, or we don't want people to think that we are better than or uppity when we say we want success or that we're doing good or that, the things that we have accomplished. Why wouldn't we say those things? Are we not all made from God and he accomplished the world, created it and done all of that? So why would we not tell about successes? Why would we not share that? Right? So today, share your successes, share your wins. Be okay with wanting to be successful. Be who you want to be. Go where you want to go and do the things you want to do. Be okay with that. That's what God made you to do. Don't live with regrets. Regrets will kill you faster than anything else. Please don't live with regrets. So what you'll find is one day you sitting on your couch and that shoulda, coulda, woulda is going to hit you upside the head. And then it may be a little bit too late. Although for me, I always say it's never too late. If you can think it, you can do it. And the only thing holding you back is you at this point. So handle your business. So make sure that you do that today. Today is Hump Day Wednesday on this fearful, faithful walk. Work within that fear. Use it to move you to something else. Use it to make you do that one thing that you've been holding back on. That goes for me too. Like I said, getting on that plane that was it for me. And then on the way back, once that revelation came to me, I was like, oh man, I got this. And so there is no fear. There's nervousness, excitement, but fear, no, not anymore. So now I'm ready for my next fearful, faithful walk. And sometimes you just got to go out there and you got to jump in it and know that wherever you place your feet, it is already yours, period. All right, guys, that is it for the Fearless Morning Show this morning. Lynn will be back with us tomorrow, bright and early. Now, remember, I think I posted this a few minutes ago. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, there is our YouTube channel so that you can send the link to them. And as well as if they would like some Be Fearless apparel, because we have jewelry, we have bracelets, we have earrings, and they all say made with love. That's so cute. You can get them in any color so that you can pass those along. So if you need a bag, if you need a t-shirt, whatever you may need, make sure you go there. And then on June 16th, Lynn and I will be at the Circle and Moon in Roswell, Georgia, for our event. So come out. We have a lot of I know Lynn has a lot of hands-on things that we're going to be doing. And I'm excited about some of the things that I'm going to have you guys do. So make sure you go to BAFearless.com. I just posted a link. Make sure you go there and sign up for the newsletter so you'll be the first to get the link to purchase your ticket to come out for that. I am so excited. Y'all have no idea. Lynn is way more. She tells it so much better than I do because she get excited like she about to jump through the camera. I'm excited too. I can't wait to see you guys. I hope you will join us June 16th in Roswell at the Circle and Moon. And we're going to have an amazing, amazing time. We're going to give you some real hands-on stuff to learn how to live past crazy in your life and in your finances. Okay. Now that you know this information, you're charged to go share it with somebody else because you cannot keep it. Yes, he did. And I've not called him back yet. He's on my list to do, Trenda. He's on my list. I'm praying for you, Charlene. Have safe travels today. Okay. Be peaceful on your journey. Well, thank you, Charlene. And then if you're in the Far City area Sunday, I will be at Union Hill AME Zion Church, which is my home church. If y'all ever wonder if I used to sing, yes, I did. I used to sing in the choir there until I graduated from high school. We're having the choir anniversary, and I will be there with them. That's Sunday at 3:30. So if you're in the Far City area, that's where I will be. So you guys can come by and say hey and listen to. And my kids have never been to a choir anniversary. I'm so excited for them to go because they don't even know what they've been missing. So I'm excited to be there with them. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing day. Be peaceful today. Make that fearful, faithful walk. Think about what it is that you want to do. Do it now. Make it ridiculously simple. Meaning right now, as soon as you get off the Fearless Morning Show, write it out what it is that you truly want. I promise the answer is going to be on there. Oh, you will sing on, Charlene. Charlene, remember that crazy law, singing on the beach in your bathing suit to get you arrested. But you have a safe trip. Everybody have an amazing day. We will see you here bright and early tomorrow morning at 7:15. Have a great one.